knows a lot about the science stuff. Professor Dave explains.
About 95% of all extant mammals are placental mammals. These are part of subclass Theria, which includes the marsupials, and infraclass Eutheria, whose name actually comes from Greek and roughly translates to good beast, so you can see that we're a bit biased when it comes to naming certain taxa. Another term for Eutheria is placentalia, which includes only the placental mammals, which are partly distinguished from monotremes, or egg-laying mammals, and marsupials, or pouched mammals, in that the fetus is carried in the uterus of its mother to a relatively late stage of development, much later than the marsupials, who, although they do nourish their young via a placenta, give birth to less developed young that are further nurtured within the mother's pouch. This is the grouping we will be using to explore the diversity of the placental mammals, as backed by molecular data from 2022. However, this is by no means the only proposed grouping of the placental mammals. The clade has gone through major revisions for many years and may continue to do so in the future, but for now, let's focus on 19 proposed orders. Most modern analyses place these orders into the primary lineages of Afrotheria, Xenarthra, Ungulates or Supraprimates, and Laurasiatheria, which are further broken down into subgroupings and orders. The most widely accepted groups of the placental mammals, those of subclass Theria and infraclass Eutheria or Placentalia, are Afrosoricida, Macroscelidia, Tubulidentata, Hyracoidea, Proboscidea, and Sirenia, which make up Afrotheria, Cingulata and Pilosa, which are included in Xenarthra, Eulipotyphla, Pholidota, Carnivora, Perissodactyla, Artiodactyla, Cetacea, and Chiroptera are part of Laurasiatheria, and Dermoptera, primates, Scandentia, Lagomorpha, and Rodentia make up Euarchontoglires, or supraprimates. Note that these general groups are part of the standardized textbook classification, along with heavy reliance on the work of Dr. Sandra Alvarez Carretero. So let's get started with Afrotheria. The most diverse order of Afrotheria is order Afrosoricida, which contains about 55 species, members of which are commonly known as the golden moles, otter shrews, and the tenrecs. They used to be classified with the true shrews and others as part of the now defunct polyphyletic group Insectivora, along with members Eulipotyphla, until it became widely accepted that members of Afrosoricida do not share recent common ancestry with the true shrews and hedgehogs, and are instead more closely related to other Afrotherian mammals. Order Macroscelidia includes about 20 species of elephant shrews who, despite their name, are neither shrews nor elephants, although they are more closely related to elephants than shrews. It is true that they superficially resemble shrews, but they are characterized by their long, flexible snouts and elongated limbs, diurnal and insectivorous nature, agility, scaly tails, small size from around 10 to 30 centimeters, and relatively large brains when compared to other small insectivorous mammals. Order Tubulidentata contains a single extant species, the aardvark, a distinctive mammal native to sub-Saharan Africa, recognizable by its long snout, unique tongue, lack of teeth, and large ears. It is primarily nocturnal and uses its keen sense of smell to locate ant and termite nests, its main diet, which it is able to consume using its long sticky tongue, and for which it forages using its powerful front legs. Order Hyracoidea contains just 5 species of hyraxes native only to Africa and Arabia. The most widely distributed species, and perhaps the most well-known, is the rock hyrax. Physically, the hyraxes are small, rotund mammals with thick fur and short tails, superficially resembling the picas of order Lagomorpha, or the marmots of order Rodentia, though they are not closely related to either. Order Proboscidea includes just 3 extant species of elephants, which are native to Africa and Southeast Asia. Though this order includes a great deal of famous extinct species, such as the single species of woolly mammoth and at least 8 species of mastodons, the only extant species are the endangered African bush elephant, the critically endangered African forest elephant, and the endangered Asian elephant. Extant members are easily identified due to their trunks, thick skin, large ears, large size, high intelligence, longevity, social bonds, and extreme habitat loss. Finally, members of order Sirenia, commonly referred to as sea cows or sirenians, includes just 4 species, a single species of dugong in the family Dugongidae, and 3 species of manatees in the family Trichechidae: the Amazonian manatee, the West Indian manatee, and the African manatee. They are noted for their fully aquatic herbivorous lifestyle, fusiform bodies, heavy bones, and thick blubber. Moving on, Xenarthra includes just 2 orders of placental mammals. All members of order Cingulata, commonly referred to as armadillos, are insectivorous New World mammals characterized by their dorsal body armor, which is composed of plates of dermal bone covered by keratinized scutes. The smallest species is the pink fairy armadillo, and the largest are the extinct forms such as the glyptodons. Meanwhile, order Pilosa includes the 4 extant anteater species of suborder Vermilingua, such as the silky anteater and the giant anteater, along with their extinct relatives, as well as the 6 extant species of arboreal tree sloths and their extinct relatives, the ground sloths. Moving on now to Laurasiatheria, we'll start with order Eulipotyphla, whose diversity of over 450 species is largely due to the nearly 400 species of true shrews, which are small insectivorous mole-like mammals, but also includes the hedgehogs, true moles, and moon rats, which are not actually rats at all, and their kin, such as the 2 venomous solenodons, star-nosed mole, Pyrenean desman, shrew moles, and many others. In contrast, order Pholidota includes just a few species collectively referred to as pangolin or scaly anteaters, even though they are not closely related to the true anteaters. They are notable for their large protective keratinized scales, comprised of a similar material to fingernails and toenails, long nails, cryptic nature, long nose, modified forepaws, and specialized insect diet. They are unfortunately some of the most threatened of all mammals and are heavily poached from the wild. Moving on, some of the most charismatic and well-known of all animals are perhaps those of order Carnivora. With about 280 species, their diversity is far from the highest of the mammals, but they are some of the most familiar of all mammals, and those with the most international protections. In terms of classification, they are broadly separated into 2 suborders. First, there is Feliformia, which includes the cat-like carnivores, such as the cats, both large and small, viverids, such as the civets, genets, oyons, and the binturong, as well as hyenas, mongooses, and linsangs. Then there is suborder Caniformia, or dog-like carnivores, such as the dogs, a biological family that includes the domestic dogs, wolves, coyotes, foxes, and jackals, then the bears, from pandas to polars, and then raccoons and mustelids, which is the largest family of the dog-like carnivores, including animals such as the weasels, badgers, otters, martens, and wolverines. Next up are the ungulates, or hoofed animals, of orders Perissodactyla and Artiodactyla. Members of Perissodactyla are commonly referred to as the odd-toed ungulates, while Artiodactyla is said to contain the even-toed ungulates. Members of Perissodactyla seem to have been more common in the past, and include giants like Paraceratherium, but only 17 extant species split into 3 families. Equidae, which includes the horses, asses, and zebras, which bear their weight on a single toe ending in a single toenail, commonly referred to as a hoof, Rhinocerotidae, or rhinos, and Tapiridae, or the tapirs. The last of these are noteworthy in that they retain 4 toes on their front feet. Artiodactyla, meanwhile, contains some 270 terrestrial species, more than 15 times as much diversity as their odd-toed counterparts. In here we find many familiar species such as cattle, goats, sheep, llama, alpacas, camels, giraffes, deer, antelopes, hippos, peccaries, and pigs. Nearly all terrestrial forms, except for the pigs, are herbivorous, and many species are of great importance to humans. Finally, you'll notice that order Cetacea isn't on our cladogram because it isn't actually an order, though it is often treated as one in many standardized textbooks. Sometimes the name Cetartiodactyla is used to describe the clade, while other times it is simply mentioned separately since living cetaceans don't have any hooves, but their most recent common ancestors did. Modern cetaceans include whales, dolphins, and porpoises, and are characterized by their fully aquatic lifestyle, streamlined body shape, often large sizes, and exclusively carnivorous diet. Some, like the baleen whales, prey upon microscopic crustaceans, while others, like the orcas, hunt large prey in groups. The last order in this clade is Chiroptera, the bats. With their unique forelimbs adapted to flight, they are easily distinguished from all other mammals. They are also the second most diverse order of mammals, with over 1,400 identified species, and the only mammals capable of true and sustained flight. They are broadly grouped into the megabats, or fruit bats of order Pteropodidae, and the microbats of order Microchiroptera, though more recent analyses suggest this grouping may be paraphyletic. They are perhaps best known as beneficial insectivores that hunt by echolocation, or biological sonar, where objects are located through sound waves, such as with the little brown bat and many North American and European species. Others, like the Honduran white bat and hammerhead bat, are frugivorous, meaning they only eat fruits, while others may feed entirely on pollen, and still others entirely on blood. Finally, we'll begin with the least biodiverse order of Euarchontoglires, the two species of flying lemurs or colugos of order Dermoptera, which are nocturnal, tree-dwelling mammals native to Southeast Asia, noted for their ability to glide for great distances without losing much height, and their close evolutionary relationship to the primates. The primates are first split into suborders Strepsirini, which includes the lemurs, bush babies, and lorisids, and Haplorini, which includes all other primates, such as the tarsiers, New World monkeys and Old World monkeys, gibbons, and the great apes, or hominids of family Hominidae. In addition to numerous extinct forms, this family includes just 3 extant species of orangutans of the genus Pongo, 2 extant species of the genus Gorilla, the eastern and western gorilla, 2 extant species of the genus Pan, commonly referred to as the chimpanzee and the bonobo, and 1 extant species of the genus Homo, derived from the Latin word meaning human. More on these species can be found in the Anthropology series. Next up, order Scandentia includes about 20 species of tree shrews, or banks rings, which are not actually shrews at all, though they were once grouped polyphyletically into the now defunct order Insectivora. Order Lagomorpha includes 2 families, the hares and rabbits of Leporidae and the pica of Ocotonidae. They are noted for the presence of 4 incisors in the lower jaw, while rodents have only 2, which continue to grow throughout their lives along with all of their other teeth, their strictly herbivorous nature, and lack of paw pads. And finally, we'll finish with order Rodentia, the rodents, which are characterized by a single pair of continuously growing incisors on the upper and lower jaws. This is the most diverse of all the mammalian orders, with about 2,275 recognized species as of 2024, meaning that about 40% or more of all mammalian species are rodents. Their remarkable diversity includes the Gundies, brush-tailed porcupines, mountain dagoos, North American porcupines, guinea pigs, mountain beavers, New World flying squirrels, chipmunks, beavers, kangaroo rats, pocket gophers, deer mice, jumping mice, 5-toed pygmy jerboa, the naked mole rats, which are noted for their almost entirely ectothermic form of body regulation, colonial nature, and longevity, and of course the true mice of genus Mus and the true rats of genus Rattus. And that wraps up a quick summary of the extant mammals of clade Synapsida. Let's move forward and examine the form and function of the non-avian members of Synapsida's sister clade, Sauropsida.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Support me on Patreon so I can keep making content. And as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.